If you want to do a fun little drop from a Thai hitch, this routine is for you. Hi guys! We are on the silks having a lot of fun this week.
Yes, we have a fun little drop for you. Part of our tiny drop series again. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Taylor, we said we're not doing a tiny drop series again.
It was fun the last time we did it.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
But if you want to reminisce to our tiny drop series, we have a fun drop for you to try that we start from a Thai hitch. So you don't need to know to hip key to get into this position, but you still end up being able to do sort of hip key things like a Thai hitch.
Yes, and a chair.
And a chair.
Yes,
yeah,
yes. And pretty shapes from a chair and everything like that.
And there's not a lot of climbing involved for this routine because we do everything from a footlock in the air.
But you need to know how, you need to have enough arm strength to be able to pull your body up, because we do have a little pull up in the middle of the routine. So just bear that in mind as you give this one a try.
I feel like we're playing good cop, bad cop. You know? Guys, if you're new to this channel, welcome. On this channel, we talk all things aerial and we break down different routines for you every week across 4 apparatuses: aerial, hoop, hammock, silks, and pole. So if you practice any of these apparatuses, especially at home, do subscribe to our channel. It's a great resource to have, and it's great to be a part of our community.
Yeah, and if you have some aerial friends that you train with or that you hope to train with, share the channel with them as well, so that they can also have access to all of these resources that we've been putting together over the past few years.
Before we start training, let's do a quick safety check. We need to be responsible at all times to avoid injuries. So start with our equipment. Let's check that to make sure our rigging and everything is okay. Make sure that you have a crash mat. Don't practice without one under any circumstances. And then of course, make sure that you warm up well and cool down well before and after you practice aerial. For this routine, we do a lot of like pull-ups and stuff like that to warm up your upper body, as for most things that we do on the silks. And also we're turning out a bit, so you might want to do a little hip mobility before you start. If you're looking for warm-up ideas, you can find them in the playlist, which we'll leave right up here. So if you haven't warmed up yet, go check that out, then come back to this video after you've warmed up. Then make sure you're wearing the right clothing for this, because we're doing a lot of like hooking. I would recommend longer leggings, but you also need to be careful of the type of leggings that you choose. For example, Karina is wearing very slippery leggings, so she had to kind of put resin behind them to stay up, and she ends up having to use the back of her knees a little bit more than I do because I'm wearing more of a cotton type of legging. So if you have something that is not as slippery, that would be better for this routine, since we're doing a lot of things that you need to have that grip for. I think that's about it, right?
When you start, you know, that hook that you do, the extension, it really bothers my elbow a lot. So if you're not used to hooking your elbows on the silks, then do opt for longer sleeves, or at least covering your elbows. You see they're red. Just saying.
I just remember that the last hammock routine, you said the same thing for, but I feel
it
like
was the other side.
Yeah, I feel like my elbows are like your knees. You know, like my knees always, whenever we do something with like where we need to hold by the back of our knee, I always like feel that really hard. But whenever we do something with our elbows, I don't. But Karina is right, we do use our elbows a lot for this. So if you have some protection for the inside pit of your elbow, that would be helpful as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course, make sure you have your spotting buddy. Make sure you have someone to practice with, to be your GPS in the air, your cheerleader when you're down, and if something happens, they're there to call someone or assist you.
Yes, and guys, as always, you can't find the music that we use synced up to this video. This routine is done to really beautiful music, and everything is done at a specific time so that you can do different extensions and just show the feeling that the music has. And if you want to see it synced up to the music, this one is way longer than a minute. So you will have to probably look at 2 shorts, or you will probably see the front or the back of this routine cut off. but we left a short right up here for you so that you can see it synced up to the music, or multiple shorts. If that doesn't cut it for you, then just hop onto our Instagram accounts. We do post them there, and we post them before this video premieres on YouTube. So by the time this video is out, you should be able to find it on our Instagram accounts. If you want to see it bigger and on the big screen, then we will release a video on Friday on YouTube that shows both of us doing it. And this way you can see how different people do it, especially the back of the routine. For some reason, I love backwards drops and Taylor loves forward drops. This drop we realized in the end, because we didn't learn it at the same time. Taylor choreographed the routine, she sent me a video, and I kind of changed the drop at the end when I do it. And so mine is a backward drop and Taylor's is a forward drop. And so you can just see how two people doing the same routine might do things a little bit differently. And that's okay. We also do this so that you can be a little bit more accepting of what your body is doing and can do, and not be comparing yourself too much to people that you see online. So we'll leave you a video on Friday. You just need to come back to the channel so that you can be able to see it. We'll leave you a link to the song that we use and the timing with which we get started down in the description below. So you can check that out so that you know exactly when we start. We start this one way in the middle of the song.
Now that we've covered everything,
let's get started.
Hey guys, we're ready to break this routine down for you. So we have Karina beside the silk. So we're starting in the air this time. So Karina is going to do a climb up so that she can have some height. Now in the air, we're starting with a foot lock on one leg with both poles together. So Karina is going to foot lock her left leg, pull herself close to pin herself toward the silk, and then she's going to hook her left elbow since she foot locked her left foot, her left leg. So from here, you're going to, when the music starts, you have your hands down. Now you're going to swing your arms backward and lift your right leg at the same time. That's your right hand and your right leg. Great. And then from there, you're going to extend out into somewhat of an arabesque before you come back to the fabric. Sink your hips down to hook yourself and get into your clothesline. So you're hooking your right leg, and you're gonna push your foot down to get into your clothesline like this. You can release your hands or keep them if you don't feel safe that way. From there, hold on to the fabric to come back up. Keep your knee hooked on, and then you're going to reach down. Then you're going to reach and release the foot lock with your left hand. Hold on, bring the fabric to your shoulder, and then you're going to kick up and get into a tie hitch here. So notice that the tail comes in front of you, and then you are ready to add some spin. So after you've added spin, before you add spin actually, you might want to separate the fabric. You need to make sure you're holding on to one pole. And then you'll add spin, and then you're getting into your aerial chair. So you're going to lift your upper body, take the opposite hand that's holding, pass your body through, and then flip yourself around so that you're sitting. And this pose looks really pretty with spin. Now, after you've held this for a little while, you're going to reach up above you and pull yourself up with straight legs. And this pose looks really pretty when you have spin as well. From there, go back into your chair, release one arm and hold on with the other. Bend one leg at the knee. And then from there, you're going to come back to the fabric. You're going to then straddle and hook one leg. So for Karina, that is her right leg, and you're gonna turn into the fabric, holding high on the other fabric. There, you're going to grab your tail, add some spin here, make sure your leg that's on top is straight. You're bending the opposite one. Hold this pose for a bit before you bend that leg that is in the fabric, hooking that pole. And then you're going to bring the opposite pole behind your back. From here, you can play with shapes. So we do like a little coffin pose. So we straighten our legs and try to bring our hips up. You can also crouch down into a cradle like Karina is doing here. And then bring one leg straight in order to get ready for your drop. So from here, we're getting ready to do our drop. So you want to think about diving forward for this drop. So you have that leg that's bent, the other leg that's straight, and you're moving towards your straight leg to dive forward. And as you move forward, you're going to bring your free leg and cross it over the top when you get to the bottom.
So Taylor's gonna show us how to do this drop because my clothes is a little too slippery and I keep sliding. Her pants has a little bit more grip. So you can go ahead, Taylor. You'll see her how she dives forward. And she comes down and crosses her leg. And that's the drop. It's a really cool drop when you do it so fast like Taylor does. That was so much fun. We had so much fun filming this for you. We also hope that you enjoyed learning this routine. It was a really pretty routine, challenging you a little bit more to stay on the silks a little bit more time because it is a little bit longer than we are used to the routines that we put out. But if you enjoyed this, remember to leave us a like. And if you are not a part of our community, subscribe to the channel so that you know when we release new videos like these. We do them every week, and every week we do a different apparatus. So do subscribe to the channel. We also do different aerial chats where we share different experiences that we have had for the years that we've been training aerial.
Yes, and if you're not tired of drops yet, you want to try something else, and you're looking for something a little bit easier, check out the routine we're leaving on screen. This one has a fun little drop that is a little easier. It gets you into a hip key, and we play with a ton of fun shapes in the hip key position. It also has a very nice little floor work in the beginning, so it's perfect for performance if you want to try that. So we'll leave that on screen for you. We'll leave the dance video on top here, and we'll also leave the tutorial at the bottom. And until next time,
bye! Oh.